This is Dabu7, and for those out there that like to see these sky events, we do have one coming up this week. This would be a blood moon total lunar eclipse that's going to take place on the 13th. Now they're saying that most of North America and the Western Hemisphere are going to be able to witness this, but depending on where you're at, the evening of March 13th into the morning hours of the 14th is the best window, depending on your time zone, to catch this event. In years past, we've witnessed tetrads, and we had witnessed a big gap, a 7-year gap, with 2 eclipses that took place over North America. The path of those formed a big X right over the New Madrid Fault region. And we have a new series now, with this one being the one for this year. It's not going to happen again until about this time next year. And for those that wonder why it's red, it's similar to sunset. When you have all the light going around the earth, when it's blocking this out, it gives off this orange or red hue, just like you see at sunset, so to speak. And this red tint leads people to refer to this as the blood moon. So some see this as an ominous harbinger or sign, others just a cool event to see in the night sky. Nonetheless, this is going to be going down, and when it does go down, if you guys catch any good images, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. Tag me over on X, and I'll make sure to share them on the live stream. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you guys there. Much love and eyes to the skies.
Shalom.
I started investing when I was...
First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. New as in the gospel bride, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. As we see that we have a blood moon coming up on the Passover, which is March 13th evening, which is the 14th day of evening, which is the second week of the month, which will be a full moon. I believe here in the Kansas City area, I think the Umbra begins like around 1:26 a.m., which is roughly Friday morning according to Esau's time. And of course, it looked like we'd get a good visage of it because it starts to clear up around 3 a.m. But that can change, because we understand how Esau, Edom, try to block out certain events that's dealing with prophecy. Okay, I know the last couple of blood moons we had, it was pretty much it was barely noticeable because of the chemtrails and the chemtrailing. And on Friday, it's supposed to rain, I believe, later that evening. But this is the week of the Passover. We have a very, very prevalent sign. And this is signs all proceeding to the coming of Yahweh Shai, his second coming, which would deliver his elect, okay, of the Negro, Latino, and Native American, which are the biblical Israelites. All right, so with all these signs in the heavens, prophetic events, economic collapse, World War III, it's safe to say that we expect things to intensify after the Passover. And, just me personally speaking, I speak as a man, but I anticipate it to be a very confusing and a dark and a violent summer this year, especially when prices of goods continue to go up amid fear recession. You see? So with that being said, this ain't a time to take lightly, okay? As you got guys in Israel that's going on national fast for wicked men, which is not very circumspect because, when you go into the concept of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and you had Moses and the men that follow Moses and the men that follow Korah, what happened? The Most High created a division, and the Jakes that follow Korah end up perishing. Okay, I believe that the Lord opened up a sinkhole and swallowed, I think it was like a sinkhole, and then I believe the rest was devoured by fire, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it was 250 men, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's number 16. It's been a while since I read that story. But that's a prime example as the spirit that Jake is in, pardoning wicked men but condemning the righteous, which the scriptures say, he that justify the wicked but condemneth the just is an abomination. All right, so, hey, Lord's will, mass judgment starts on the night of Passover. Okay, because the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, because it should surely come to pass. You see? So, this is Fox 5. It says blood moon total lunar eclipse happens next week, and here's how you can see it, which, we're familiar with these phenomenons. Okay, since I've been in the truth, I've experienced so-called blood moons, which are lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, which we had one last year that pretty much created the X out of Babylon, or X'd out Babylon, which in the Hebrew, in the Paleo Hebrew, the X goes into the Hebrew word Tha. Okay, the Tha and the Ah, which is the A, or Alap, or Alep, which is the Ah in the Hebrew. All right, but it says here, sky watchers across America will have the opportunity to see a total lunar eclipse next week if the weather cooperates, and we understand that Esau chemtrails. Okay, you have some which is called chemtrailing, which he's continued to spray the skies and bombard the skies with these poisonous chemicals that cause all types of diseases and respiratory issues, and by spraying metals and barium oxide into the atmosphere, and we ingesting these particular poisons, man. Hence why everybody is ultimately sick. All right. And also, going back to this article, it says how America will collapse by 2025, which this was published back in 2010. And honestly speaking, it's pretty much on point. All right. Which I did like a small series on it, which I may have to get back into, because honestly speaking, I can do like 15 lessons off this article alone, because each paragraph represents a lesson, because that's how long it is. All right. But anyway, going back, it says here, the timing of the event is next week. Is such a total eclipse that will be visible to the vast majority of America and the Western Hemisphere. It reads, across to NASA, the moon would appear to turn red when it passes to the Earth's shadow on the night of March 13th, which is the night of the Passover, or early in the morning of March 14th, depending on your time zone. All right, it says, unlike a solar eclipse, special polarized glasses are not needed to see the lunar eclipse, but the eclipse can be viewed with the naked eye, although telescopes and binoculars can enhance the viewing experience. It reads, the total lunar eclipse happens during a full moon when the Earth is exactly between the sun and moon, and the moon passes through the shadow cast by Earth and turns our only natural satellite a reddish color. It says, while most of the country will theoretically be able to see the eclipse, cloud cover could play a big role in whether people's individual regions are able to enjoy the celestial event. But keep checking Fox, blase, which it ain't even cloud, it's chemicals. Okay, what I found out how they determine the forecast is through what they spray. Because honestly speaking, can nobody really predict the weather to the T, only but Yahweh Shem Shai. Even back in the 1800s, you had what they called the Farmer's Almanac, which, based on certain trends and animal herds and crops and so forth and harvesting, they can dictate whether it be a cold winter or a mild winter. And sometimes they on point depending on the trend of the storms, but a lot of times they're not on point. Okay, which shows you that this current model of forecast is really dictated through how they're spraying the air, because Esau done totally bombarded the seasons, man. All right. It says, but the moon does not emit any light of its own, which is a lie. Okay, moon does give his own light according to Sirach, 43rd chapter. It says the light we see from the moon is reflected sunlight, which is a lie, which we normally perceive as white or yellow, which is a lie. The moon gives its own light. All right. It says during the lunar eclipse, the moon appears to turn red or orange because the sunlight that hits the moon is filtered through Earth's atmosphere. But this is similar to how the sky turns red during a sunset or when the sun drops below the horizon. But it says here, the red tint leads people to refer to the astronomical event as a blood moon, which is a prophetic event, according to the scriptures. You see? So let's get the book of, matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Sirach 43. I think it's 43 and 6. Yep, 43, and I'm going to start at verse 6. And it reads, it says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times, and we're declaring the time of the end. All right, we're at the end of Esau's empire, because when you go into the address, it tells you about the 10th part already being passed, all right, which was roughly 2,500 years ago. Now we're at the end of the 12th part, which these goes into dispensation periods of time. And we're at the end of Esau's rulership, okay, which will mark the end of this age into a new global or a new golden age, which is called a utopia, which is the kingdom of heaven, which will take place over a course of eternity. All right. There's no more heathen rulership after this man totally goes down. All right. Like they say, kingdoms bottom out at the 250 years. Well, America's 250-year period is just about up. Okay. Less than a year. But it says here, declaration of times and a sign of the world. It says, for the moon is a sign of feasts, okay, which the Passover, you will always have a full moon on the Passover. A light that decreases in her perfection proves the moon gives its own light. It says, a month called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, okay, in the firmament of heaven. But it says a sign of feast, which the Passover, all right, and also declaration of times. All right, so let's go to the book of 2 Esdras, the 9th chapter, and I'm gonna start at verses 1. And it reads, it says, and he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how we're measuring the time? By prophecy, okay, by speaking these words, by going into news articles and filtering these articles through the prophetic scriptures, man. All right, not sitting up here throwing goddamn WW Israelite matches on fucking Passover, or what do you call talent shows or fashion shows, rap shows. Pop the balloon. You Jakes ain't taking heed to the evil day, man. And this is why the Most High is getting ready to do away with a lot of our people, because you ain't taking heed to the evil day. All right, the Lord is tired of playing games with you niggas, man. And it says, then thou shalt understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, and we're seeing it through storms. Waters are turning to red. World War III, as pretty much Iran rejected talks with America as to doing away with their nuclear program, which I would have turned them down too, because I'm like, who the hell are you to tell me I can't harness a nuclear weapon, but you can? And the reason why they don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons is because America secretly knows they're trying to invade Iran, and they don't want any type of repercussion for that, you know? So they're trying to do away with Iran's nuclear arsenal. But wait a minute, why you ain't fucking with Russia about their nuclear weapons, or China? You know, it's like you want to pick on people that don't have the single capability of fighting your ass. But see, what you finna understand, what you getting ready to learn is that all these nations are getting ready to come up against you. And I wouldn't give up shit, because I wouldn't worry about it, because if I know I got Russia in my corner and China, I'll be talking big shit to America, man. Come and make me get rid of my nuclear program, man. You know, and you can send as many spies or CIA in our country as whatever you want to do to try to overthrow us. At the end of the day, it's not going to happen. But it says here, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and upwards of people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world had the beginning and the end is manifest through these signs. Even so, also the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. All right. And this is nothing more, nothing less but another sign. Okay. As you had this stupid bimbo in here talking about, oh, we'll be okay. Yeah, well, sure. You think you will. Your kingdom is falling. And that's the pride of you Edomites, man. You really believe that your kingdom is going to continue forever. But the Lord is getting ready to get rid of your ass, man. Okay. Because the world is tired of you. We're tired of you. Fucking the world is tired of you. Animals are tired of you. Nature itself is tired of you. Okay, you just need to go down, man. You know, you just need to go down and never come back, all right? A world without Esau is a world that we look forward to. Okay, we ain't got to worry about your tribunal courts. We ain't got to worry about your punk-ass IRS. We ain't got to worry about your fucking pig, your cops. We ain't got to worry about your pedophiles. Okay, we ain't got to worry about somebody trying to oppress us. You know, it's just enough is enough. We're tired of you, bro. You know, it's time for you to leave. And it says here, and everyone that should be saved should be able to escape by his works, which is this work in faith. Faith without works is dead. But it says, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, okay, through our faith, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I've sanctified them for me from the beginning. So, brother, there is a safe haven that the Lord is going to allow brothers to enter into during this hour of Jacob's trouble. Okay, while some brothers are going to get caught up in the chaos, you know, the FEMA camps and stuff like that. But us as a collective, I really believe we're going to be okay, man. Okay, I believe that the Lord is going to have us put up somewhere, just kind of spectating all this shit going down. And we'll be in the midst of it. We'll see it. We'll experience it. And I believe the Lord is going to give some of us the ability to do what we got to do to navigate through this shit. But overall, we going to all come out. I think we're going to be okay. I know we're going to be okay. You know? So that's something to look forward to. The quicker this system collapses, man, the better. Joel 2, and I'm going to start at verses 28. It says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And we're seeing this, all right? It says, and also upon the servants and upon my handmaids, in those days I will pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood, fire, pillars of smoke. And the sun should be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. Okay, so this is what we're witnessing. We're witnessing these galactic signs, man. Like just maybe last week, the beginning of end of February, we had a 7 planetary alignment, okay, in the heavens, and then in end of January we had 6 planets, and then all of a sudden, you know, we got a blood moon. So these are signs, man, and you stupid jakes, you ain't paying attention to none of it, okay, because you're so hell bent on getting your bag or getting your purse or living out your days in America, hoping things will bounce back, and it won't. And it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord have said, in the remnant whom the Lord shall call, which the elect. So we're going to call on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai at the first sign of trouble. Even every day in our daily lives, we call on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You see? So it's, yeah, brother, it's something to look forward to. And I pray like hell doing Passover. This is when the Lord start judging you niggas, man. All right? This world completely. I pray after the night of Passover, man, which is a week ceremony. But I pray during the Passover week, shit happens, because remember, going back to 2020, right after Passover, the shutdowns came, man, or around that time. So I pray like hell, man, that all hell break loose, man, and that this shit just end, you know, because enough is enough, man. You know, it's just to the point. Okay, let's get this over with. But anyway, Matthew's 27. And I'm going to start at verses 29, and it says here, 24 and 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and a star shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be darkened, shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And that's going into the elect. Salakia, that's going into the chariots, the deliverance, delivering the elect. And it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, which is the deliverance, which we're going to all be beamed up in one ship. And it says, now learn the parable of the fig tree when its branch is yet tender. It says, and putteth forth leaves, and ye know that summer is nigh. It says, so likewise, when you should see all these things, see that it is near, even at the doors. Okay, meaning it's close. But verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, it says here, for they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving it to marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also coming of the Son of Man be. So things are going to be happening. People are going to be living life, because remember, when the economy collapses, things are going to go to shit. Rioting, things are going to happen. But see, upon passing the MOTB, they're going to offer false hopes. And they may start to restore society in small pockets, you know, to mend the fighting through military means, right? And then as they're getting things back up and running, hey, the Most High, send Yahweh Shai back, and the missiles is going to come, man. Because the missiles are going to come amid doing Jacob's trouble. But there will be some places in the world that you're going to have full society. People are going to be going to work. People are going to be hopping on planes. People are going to be barbecuing, getting married in different parts of the world, you know, having sleepovers, going to clubs, and then Yahweh Shai is going to pop up and he's going to take motherfuckers, man. You know? But anyway, just a reminder, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.